All right, so once again, we got some really good news from the developers of Chaos Zero Nightmare, and honestly, they've been doing a really good job at not only listening to what players have been saying, but also just actually applying fixes here. So I want to go through this here because we do have a lot of really cool information that they're going to be putting out some big changes in the second sort of part of the Season 1 update here, which won't be for another couple weeks on December 3rd, but it is some pretty good stuff that's going on here. And it also is the 1 month anniversary of the game being out, which kind of crazy, it's been a month already. But let's jump right in here to see what they are going to be cooking up. So the first thing, and probably the biggest thing for people who've been playing since day one mainly, the currency requirement improvements. So based on our feedback, they've confirmed that the amount of unit currency required for agent growth has been excessively burdensome, which is very true, by the way, because I felt like I was doing pretty good, but then I got the team I've been running the most to level 60, and my resources just vanished, basically. Like, it's been super rough for that. So I am glad that they are giving us a way to, or not really giving us away, but they're changing the amount of units needed, because that is the main money currency. So they said with this update, the required unit consumption for leveling up agents will be reduced by 80% from its current amount, which is a crazy decrease. So this should allow people to not only get more characters leveled up, but also, to do it a lot faster as well. So we can have the ability to, build other characters too and not take forever to build one character. And also, just for comparison here, they show for level 60, previously, to get a unit to level 60, you needed over 1 million units, but now you only need 200,000, which is pretty crazy. And then for partners, you needed basically half of what the level 60 character stuff is, which is still a lot as well. But even better, than not only are they doing this to make it easier to build these characters, but also all units that were already consumed to level up characters will be fully refunded to us with the December 3rd update, which is huge, honestly, so that we'll be able to just get those resources back, and we could funnel those into other characters, which is super nice because I do want to get other characters built up as well and just see all the variety that this game has to offer. So them giving us back those materials, plus also making it significantly cheaper to level up these characters and get them all ascended and whatnot, is pretty big. So that the main sort of grind is going to end up being for stuff like the potential tree, memory fragments, that kind of stuff, I think is going to be pretty good as well. They're also going to be adding the Blackhorn trade, which is also another spot where we can get some growth currency. So it looks like in here we have the weekly boss drops, we have stuff for memory fragments, stuff for the potential as well, which is super nice. And it looks like for this shop, we use the Crystal of Discord currency, which can be given by the clearing chaos, which is super cool. Plus, the amount you get doesn't particularly correlate with the difficulty, so it's not like someone who's doing the higher difficulties is gonna get a crazy amount more than someone doing a lower difficulty, which I think is a really good thing for newer players, because they're going to be able to progress through the early stages a lot faster to get to some of the more challenging chaos, runs, and just have more overall account progression here, which is very good as well. And it looks like they're also reviewing other ways to experience and train a wider variety of combatants, which is also good because this game has a ton of potential with getting all different types of builds for different comps. So I do think having abilities for us to run or be able to run and build up a bunch of different characters is very good. So they've been trying to look into stuff such as a feature that temporarily raises the selected combatant's growth level to match the captain's level. That could be good for chaos run. I would say probably the codex runs would be the best place for that. That way you can get builds for characters without having fully leveled them up and use resources, so that once you try them out and get a build, you're I really like this character, I can now go ahead and level them up. So that is a pretty cool thing as well. But all in all, the resource stuff for this is absolutely huge. More ways to get these kind of materials, and also way less units needed per character, and the refund thing is going to be super nice as well. So that is definitely very exciting. Next up, they also have improvements for the chaos gameplay experience. So they are continuing to improve the roguelike over time, which is very good as well. because that is the main, like, you know, selling point of the game compared to other gachas. The roguelike, not only is it such a cool mode, but it also is the main way you're going to be able to really get some good builds for your characters. So firstly, to support smoother chaos plays, they're adding the Reaper feature to the Divine Delegate event, which allows you to fix monsters' HP to 1 for 3 normal battles. So this will just allow you to get through those like normal fights a bit faster, which can be nice to lower the amount of time it takes in the roguelike, because these roguelike modes, you know, they can take like an hour to get through per run, and not everyone's gonna have a crazy amount of time every day to be doing chaos runs to get like good builds. So certain things like this to kind of decrease that time by some amount is going to be very good, because since it's like a roguelike thing, you don't want it to be extremely short, but you do want it to be accessible no matter what kind of player, because a lot of people will just kind of log into gacha games for a little bit and then you'll log back off. Not everyone is sitting there playing for hours on end trying to get like the perfect build and whatnot. So I think this caters more towards like the more casual player, which I think is fine as well, and just makes things, you know, quicker for the people who play more, so they can get more runs in. So yeah, I think it works out both ways. Then they also talked about how they revealed the scoring rules for save data, which I didn't get to make a video on, unfortunately, yet, but it looks like they are going to be adding an indicator in the game as well, which is really cool, actually, because like previously, actually, in one of my last live streams, someone actually sent me a link to, there's actually a website where actually I could pull it up for the video real quick here. Hold on. Yeah, so this website here, you could basically input the tier of the chaos that you're running. So for example, if you're running like a tier 7 chaos run, and then you put in your characters, and you would have to like manually put in how many, you know, cards you get. It'll calculate the points and whatnot, which is a cool thing. But I always feel like it's always better for these kind of things to be implemented in the game itself. So it is cool if they're actually going to be doing that there. They are going to have a counter as well when you look at your characters, so you can see, okay, like this character has a lot of points, maybe I shouldn't add this thing to them, because if you go over the maximum amount of points for the character, then you run the risk of something in your save file getting deleted, and you can't control what thing gets deleted to make room for the save file. So you definitely want to try to stick within this point value as much as you can. So showing it in game there is a massive W. It also looks like they're going to be reducing skill animation time as well, which we'll see what they do for that. Maybe they'll do like a skip toggle kind of thing. But it also looks like they're preparing improvements such as reducing post-skill delay and allowing animation skips when using other functions during skill activation. Okay. So yeah, allowing ways to skip certain animations to just make your progression go a bit faster is very good too. And they're not going to be implemented immediately, but good thing that they announced it here as well. So not for the December 3rd update, but definitely something that's still in motion there, which is very good. Then they have some other QOL stuff here. So the December 3rd update is going to include improved UI to clearly display the current turn count in Basin of Hyperspace, Nebula Distortion, and similar content. This is very good because I feel like a lot of the time I'm just like, I'm trying to keep track of like what turn I'm on, and having to pause to see that is a bit annoying. So showing that, you know, just permanently on the screen is going to be very good. Also, they're going to be adding a quick formation option. So instead of like selecting slot 1 on your team, then one character, then slot 2 on your team, then another character, you can just select all your characters for your team, which is super nice here. And it looks like because they're showing this for Basin of Hyperspace for the end game, it looks like you can probably just select both teams in the same window, which is very good as well. Then they're also improving some animations. Ooh, during chaos when entering a mental breakdown stage, screen effects will now be more intense, and unidentified area text will include additional horror effects. This is actually very cool, and also special effects for the breakdown cards are going to be improved as well. This is very good because Chaos Zero Nightmare is supposed to be that like darker kind of game, and as I'm sure we all know by this point, they had the whole thing with like the writing was supposed to be darker, but then stuff happened in Korea with the writing team, which, you know, caused things to be changed to the way we got it at launch, but they're trying to sort of backtrack now and kind of rewrite the story and kind of bring the game back to where it was. So this could be a big step in that as well, so we can have a more like darker presentation. So I'm excited to see what these additional effects and more intense effects are going to be as well. And they say we will continue strengthening the presentation so you can further immerse yourself in the darker atmosphere, which is very good there. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. Next up, this is also actually a big thing as well. They are going to be making some changes to Yuki. Now, these are all going to be pretty positive, I think, because they actually had a very good perspective on this, because they were seeing just from community feedback that Yuki's performance didn't meet expectations. And they say internal data shows that Yuki already performs well in battles against 2 or more enemies, which is true. She is very AoE centric. So they said simply increasing her numerical values was deemed to carry a high risk of overbalancing the agent. That is also very true, because if they just made her numbers do more, then she's going to be too crazy in those multi-target situations. So instead of applying immediate buffs, they're analyzing Yuki's gameplay data and are considering improvements that replace her least adopted Epiphany build-up options with more effective alternatives. So rather than giving her like some stat increases or whatever, or like, you know, new like base abilities, they're gonna adjust certain epiphanies that people don't really use to make them more catered towards a single target build. So now you'll have 2 ways to, you know, build Yuki, which makes her a more multifaceted character, which I actually like a lot. It's not going to be available immediately, which is fine, but they are going to, you know, bring it as soon as they can, which is fine. They're also preparing upcoming content for the next updates, such as the Great Rift and Codex, where Yuki will be able to demonstrate her strength. So that is cool there as well. And then they also have some stuff here at the end. This is the sort of last section. Stuff that's going to be planned for future updates. Firstly, you can also encounter dimensional tunnels during Codex. This is actually huge because dimensional tunnels in the seasonal chaos are actually very good. You get a lot of you get some harder fights in there, as well as just some solid rewards too. So that is going to be very good to add in Codex. And it also looks like if you acquire a forbidden card while doing the Codex, you will get the season marks though, which is very nice as well. So that is a way to get seasonal data without doing the seasonal chaos if you want to do a Codex one instead. Then next up, when you get a agent in rescue who already completed their ego manifestation, so basically if you have their maximum dupes, you'll obtain a spectral cube, or a certain amount of spectral cubes, and these will allow you to purchase memory codes, partners, prism modules, and more. So a lot of just like, you know, free partners will be good. Memory codes, I believe, are the dupes as well. So you do get a lot of pretty good stuff from here as well. And I think that's going to be great for, I'm not sure if this is going to be 4 stars and 5 stars that'll give you the spectral cubes, but if it is 4 stars, that'd be kind of crazy. But 5 stars, I think most definitely they'll give you this. But for a lot of players, it'll take a while for us to get to that point where we have a max dupe 5-star character. So that'll also be cool to get some extra resources. But that is the last thing they have here. Very solid developer letter over here. We have a lot of cool stuff coming as well. I think all the updates here are extremely good, but of course the biggest one is that first one about the currency requirements, because now the game is going to be a bit easier and a little bit more lenient in terms of farming for a character, which is going to be super good. Plus, anything we've used to level up units up to now, we're going to be getting back on December 3rd. So that's going to just allow us to either progress those units more or build up some other characters that we've been trying to, you know, play as well, which I think is going to be super good there. But I'd love to see what you all think about this update in the comments down below. We do still have a couple weeks before this, you know, second part update here that's going to come with Chizuru as well, which I'm sure we'll get info about her sometime next week. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed and want to see more content from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But with that, everyone, I will see you all next time.